It's the NFL, man. You don't even know what's ever going to happen. Houston almost beat the Chiefs today.
Dude,
And yeah,
after that game yesterday, like the Minnesota game yesterday, which, by the way, I've got to hand an apology to CK. You were right about the Vikings. I was wrong. I believe in the Vikings now. They are a better team than I thought they were. After the game yesterday, being down 33-0 at halftime and winning 39-36, anything's possible. That game ruined me for today. That's why I thought all day long, we can come back. We've got this. It can happen. I saw a 33-point comeback yesterday. It can happen.
Oh, no,
Nah, they ruined me yesterday, but anything can happen, dude. Anything.
Yeah, every week. Trevor Lawrence could throw 4 touchdowns. You never know.
Yeah.
oh, I know. I've been telling y'all he could throw them
Let's go.
touchdowns.
Say Jones.
Good evening, fellas. I just wanted to say that, there's a lot of people who thought we would win. I was one of them. My apologies. I thought our defense would play better. I thought our running game was great. I did notice that the RB package where we were in, or not just the RB package, but there was a lot of plays in the last several weeks that we actually used extra offensive linemen as blockers, like as tight end blockers. We didn't do that at all today, period. So what's up, Ben McAscrew? But I also wanted to add something else. If you are a Panther fan and you find that through the last year or two, you are more happy when we lose than when we win, take your Panther card out and shred that bitch because you're not a fan. Is that harsh? Yes. Is that wrong? Could be not. I don't really know you. But if you find yourself that you're more happy when we lose because you get to prove a point to somebody online, you really need to look yourself in the mirror or go find a dark room, sit down and ask yourself, are you really a Panther fan or are you just here for the conversation? But everybody have a great day.
Have a great day. We're pulling fan cards now. Drew said he ranted also. He had his numbers 207. He said he came through with a big rant. I mean, I hear you, Pickle. I mean, everybody, for a while, you got to understand, people have been looking forward more to the draft than they do to the actual season. So they're thinking if we better draft picks. I don't know, man. Everybody's going to fan their own way.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I mean, look, you should be
like,
depressed, man. You should be down right now. It's okay to be. This is the fun thing. If we all just spoke into an echo chamber, this would be boring. You know, it's like it's good to have a balance of voices, like ones that make us. I mean, and hell, it's super. I actually am disappointed in Pickle there. I've been really entertained by a super angry Pickle recently. Like, he's been tripping people out on the Friday free-for-alls. He's been chipping around. I felt like he came like he was even a little sobered by this moment. Reserved. I thought he was going to come strong.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Cody. I was calling in one last time for a quick call. One thing I wanted to touch about is kind of just piggyback off last week and everything. What's your guys' opinion now on Brian Burns? That's back-to-back big games and everything where I felt as if he's made a minimal impact. So, granted, yes, he is a great player. I think he deserves to be paid at least top 10. I don't know about top 5 at this point, but I was just curious about what you guys are thinking and everything. So y'all are talking about the pass rush and everything. Brian Burns got 0 rush throughout the entire game, really. So what do y'all got to think about that?
I mean, it's on you. I mean, he's backing up your point that you were making the other day that everybody was jumping onto your case for. So I don't know. Is he right?
I don't know. Like, I think you have to have good players on a team. And I just feel like Brian Burns has been very good for us. And he's a player I'd rather have on our team than not have on our team. It's just a question of how elite are they? And I think that question I raised earlier is who are the superstars on this team? The first person you guys started arguing about was J.C. Horn, not Brian Burns.
I think that's because that's because J.C. Horn is right now playing some of the best cornerback football in the entire NFL. You can't say the same thing about Brian Burns.
Yeah,
he's having his best season, and what people were just saying.
The two can exist at the same time, Tony. Like you're just because we wanted to go to JC Horn doesn't mean that that's a damnation on Brian Burns at the very beginning. I mean that's not what we're saying. JC Horn was the first person because he's the best defensive player on our team. It doesn't mean Brian Burns isn't a great player either. That's like saying that Thomas Davis was a bad.
I'm asking you about superstar, and I'm just saying it's interesting that we didn't say Brian Burns' name first.
Let me ask you a question. If we had the same conversations about superstars, and we had Cam Newton and Luke Kuechly on this team, and you decided because I decided to bring up Cam Newton instead of Luke, that's an indictment on Luke. That's not true. That's just irrelevant. That you can't look at it that way.
I think what the most important thing the caller said here was that it brings him to a more top 10 player type pay in the league than a top 5. Right. And I think that's honestly, maybe he's right. And Tony, maybe that's kind of
been my point.
That's kind of leaning more towards what you're saying. Maybe he is just a top 10, not a top 5 guy right now. And maybe he is. We'll see.
And maybe he may still in the season with 16 sacks. Circumstance. Maybe that's because this game did not play to his skill set.
No.
So I don't really know if in fact, I don't really have a different opinion about Brian Burns today than I had last week. My opinions probably stayed about the same because how could he ultimately really be an X factor in a game where they just ran up the middle?
Right.
I don't know if that really has today. I mean, I guess there were a couple opportunities. There were some passing downs, Matt. Maybe we could have done some different things that he could have stepped in. I just feel like, hey, if the referendum today is more on the defense, it's on the linebackers probably and that defensive tackle group not being able to just stop them from moving. They rushed the ball 6 yards every play. It felt like they just rushed for 6.
How long are we gonna call out our linebacking core? Years now, and that especially when you compare them to Panther linebackers cores in our very recent past, this is found wanting. They are not good enough. We're not fast enough. We're just not we're not attacking gaps enough. This linebacking core is not. We need to upgrade it, and we need to do it big time.
Yeah. I would say this linebacking core is the better one we've had in 3 years, but that's not saying much. And the only reason I'm saying that is because the linebacking cores in the previous years have been such liabilities in a way that we knew their names. Tired Whitehead, right? We had all I don't even know our linebackers' names really, other than Shaq Thompson and I guess you call Frankie Louvu a linebacker, but I feel like we play him a little bit more like
everywhere. Yeah, he was like Jeremy Chin's rookie season. Yeah,
I mean, I guess like I know Louvu. I would say he's best. Then I don't know. It's just meh.
Do you think better defensive line play has made it so the linebackers necessarily don't have to be as good, or we don't hear as much about the linebackers?
That could be a good possibility too. But I don't even know if it's been great. And Ioannidis, his penalty today hurt us when you're offsides. He didn't have a good game today. We should probably give him a break since he just had a stroke.
But you get what I'm saying? No, that was Anderson. That wasn't Ioannidis.
Oh, that's right. You're right. It was Anderson.
Yeah, that was Henry Anderson. But by the way, the fact that Ioannidis is one of your starters is indicative of your problem. I'm not saying Ioannidis is a bad football player, but he's not a day one starter in the NFL. Right. We need more help on the defensive line. We have to have it. We need more help on our defense.
And that's even if Brian Burns is great or not. And that's regardless of how great or not Brian Burns is. You can't 1000%. He just can't thrive. That unit just needs to be stronger. And I think Derek Brown is not the problem at all. Not at all. And so I'm excited about Derek Brown as a player on this team, but we're going to have to just get bigger and stronger up there. And you're right. He needs some help on the other side of it. Another edge rusher. And they just need to be they don't even have to be the best in the world. If you could get an 8-sack guy on the other side of Brian Burns, I think that would be what you need to have to get Brian Burns to reach the stratosphere.
At this point, I almost want another defensive tackle more than I want another defensive end. Like just straight up, like another beast in the middle on the other side of.
Gosh, we're getting old.
Is there a guy in the draft out there like that though that you can think of?
Well, I mean, the big name is Jalen Carter out of Georgia.
The Georgia guy.
I mean, they've got a few, but again, we're probably not going to be picking high enough for.
No, we're going to be picking like probably 15 to 20, to be truly honest with you.
Oh yeah. You know who I wanted? Another Georgia defensive tackle. He was playing fucking awesome for the Eagles. He just got hurt. He got hurt this year after having like the best. God, what was his name? He got. Remember, I kept talking. It was he got drafted last year.
Jordan Davis. Davis, the one from
that
last
guy,
year.
And he was just eating, and then he got hurt. He hurt his ankle or something.
Yeah, he went to Mallard Creek, Rival High School.
Yeah. All right, next go.
It's me, C-Dog, 1983.
C-Dog.
What up, C?
Even though we lost today, still a wonderful day. I don't feel bad in any way about this loss today because Ben McAdoo is our offensive coordinator. You know, I want to see what Steve Wilkes can do with his own offensive coordinator and at least Matt Corral or Sam Darnold, you know. But there's no need to be upset about today's game, you know. Ben McAdoo is not exotic, you know, for his play calling and everything.
C-Dog has turned into Snoop Dogg.
I'm
confused
can't believe we gave him that many points to
He's just super chill about it.
You know, the only thing I'm disappointed in like, some of the plays for them defense, they had goddamn Brian Burns in fucking coverage. Bro, that motherfucker go get the fucking quarterback, man. The fuck? I mean, that's the only thing I was mad about every time they put Brian Burns in goddamn coverage. Yeah, we couldn't get no pressure on the quarterback. We need our best goddamn pass rusher in coverage on goddamn third down. Fuck that shit. Then go get the fucking quarterback, man. The fuck. But besides that,
we got mad at Snow.
It's a good day. Shit, it's still a good day today. Whenever you come in here, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Shout out G Baby the GOAT. You know, so I gotta give my better shout out. Shout out the whole C3 Podcast. They do these shows. We got a Tuesday night show. We got a free fall on Friday. Then we got a game simulation last night and everything. But it could be with their families doing way more important stuff, but they always put on great content. But anyways, everybody have a great day today. Like and subscribe. Keep pounding.
C-Dog, man.
Great
dude. Great dude.
He is. Has G-Baby called in today?
No, I don't think so. Here, let's keep going. We got a few more calls, though. Let's see.
He was in the chat for sure.
What up, C3? How y'all doing? This is Nick Hedden at the Panthers Den KP on YouTube. Y'all check it out. We try to do some real crazy stuff into the off season and even into next year. But yeah, so my comment about today's game, specifically about Steve Wilkes, this should not be the end all be all where we decide whether he should be the coach or not. Let's be honest. This was the Steelers. They've always had a number. For some reason, they have always had our number. They could be the most strongest team that anybody wants to be or doesn't want to be. But when they play us, they find that identity. We're the Super Bowl champion Steelers. Steel curtain all. That's what they do. My whole thing is this: for Wilkes not to get the job, that would really be a huge slap in the face. Because you have to consider we have had one other interim that got no wins. So you put him up beside that, okay, you got to say he's better than that. And then for the last 2 years, we've had this poo-butt coach that couldn't get us past 5 wins. We're going to get past 5 wins this year, so he's pretty much going to do better than that. We're either going to go 6 wins or 7. Hopefully we can win out, but, if we get more than 5 wins, you got to consider that. And you really, I would say, consider that hugely because, another thing you have to do with is he has left with
just about this guy's. Like, for instance, you can't really get rid of an offensive coordinator and everything's fine. We know Ben McAdoo this guy. You know what I mean? And we did it last year. All that left Jeff Nixon was doing was calling Brady's plays in his stead while he was gone. You know what I mean? So give him another season. Let him get his own staff. Sign him about maybe a two-year deal. See what he does. And I guarantee you, I like what I see so far. You know, I'm not. You know, I mean, what could it hurt? We're doing a lot better than we've done in the past. I mean, we still have some type of hope that we definitely didn't have last year, and we definitely didn't have a few weeks ago. Y'all keep pounding. Peace.
I mean, look, I feel like I'm always dominating them. I don't want to over dominate the mic. I have a real opinion on this. Is that
do it?
My position on field goal kickers over the podcast and people, they get mad at me a lot of times when I do this, is that a kicker misses a field goal at the end of the game and you say they lost the game for us. I like to phrase it as this: is they didn't win the game. They had the moment that they could have gone out and been the hero. Mm-hmm. They had the opportunity to win. So they didn't lose the game for us. They didn't win it. And I think that right now, Steve Wilks hasn't won the job. He hasn't lost it. And like, I agree with the caller. Like, look, he's in a bad, he's taken over. He's done some really good things where last week I thought he was kicking the field goal. He kicked the field goal at the end of last week and made the field goal. This week, he missed the field goal. Like, it was an opportunity to win for him to step closer into that job. The scary thing I have about that idea of just give him another season is, doesn't that just kind of put you into a perpetual cycle of not really giving anybody real faith anyway? Like, I feel like, what if he didn't have a good season last year, but you go, hey, he didn't have any play, like, are you just in the same conversation each year of saying, well, we didn't give him enough time. So I just want to believe in the guy we hire. Like, I think if Steve Wilks and this team would have gone out and won this game today, it would have been a lot easier for us to just give our stamp, a rubber stamp, Steve Wilks into the future. But right now, we had the stamper. We were ready to rubber stamp him in, and we were like, you know what? We might just set this over here for a minute.
Well, can I ask you then, Tony, is there anything besides record that can give you that confidence that Steve Wilks is the guy?
No.
So it's just record, basically. It's basically how
because what can he really do? Is like, you're making, basically it's this, is we gave you chicken shit. Mm-hmm. We asked you to make chicken salad. Mm-hmm. And now it's either chicken salad or it's chicken shit. Like, I'm going to take a bite of the sandwich and it's going to either be chicken salad or it's going to be chicken. Like, he has an impossible task, but the only pathway to victory is victory.
But it's like you just said earlier, like, what if we have 3 games left? What if we win 2 and lose 1 and we fall just short of winning the playoffs? But the one game we lose,
still record.
What if?
And I would say that would be a reasonable conversation.
What if the one game we lose in overtime, and everybody in the team has played well, and we are clicking on all cylinders? Didn't you say that, like, the difference in a loss, if you're losing like that or getting blown out, is different?
If we finish 7 wins, I do think we have to have a conversation really about Steve Wilks being the coach. So I still think it's record. If we finish with 5 wins, I think that conversation is a little bit more difficult to be just. Like, you have to really reach into the well of optimism. Okay. If we lose out,
you're not saying impossible, just a lot more difficult. Okay.
No, you just gotta win.
Hey, what's the saying? You are what your record says you are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the truth.
He's got a bad hand. He's been dealt a bad hand, right? Like, you can either overplay your hand or you get beat. And he's been overplaying his hand to this point in a good way. And so, like, now after today, though, he's going to have to play some good. Today was a missed opportunity. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
think about what the conversation. Think about the alternate conversation we be having right now if you just reverse the scores.
Yeah.
Simply just reverse the number of the scores, and then what is the conversation we are having as Carolina Panther fans? Gritty win at home, wasn't pretty, won the time of possession. Like we didn't win the time of possession. If you just flip the game a little bit, that one thing, and we're sitting here going, Steve Wilkes has really changed the culture here. He's got these players believing in themselves. And we're really thinking not only is this team slated to win the division, but really potentially make some noise in the playoffs. And we are not having that conversation right now.
Joe Burrow just got sacked for like 45 yards.
Jeez. All right, let's go to the next call.
Hey, C3. This is 910 Panther fan, a.k.a. Kyle. Calling from Wilmington. Love the show. Obviously, very disappointing loss today. I don't know what else to say about it, other than it was just fucking disappointing. As far as like y'all are talking about coordinators and stuff, if we can get a coordinator that doesn't call plays, that has Sam Darnold throwing behind the line of scrimmage or running for it when he shouldn't, clearly, or giving him at least the option to make his own fucking decision, because we know he can't do that. I don't know. But defense, I don't know. Hopefully they show up next week. All right. Love y'all. Keep pounding. Subscribe, like, keep on putting out that wonderful content, guys.
And thank you so much. It's
Appreciate
glad
you, brother.
We need to hear that you guys enjoy the show. It gives us more energy to keep going, especially in difficult circumstances and times. I just had something cool to say about this team, and then I lost it. Next call.
So it's JJ back real quick. I just want to say, shout out DJ Moore. This man finally got above 4 touchdowns in a season in his career. It only took until year 5,
Oh yeah.
Baby steps. No, I'm playing. But I love DJ. My favorite player. Damn right, I made a call just for him. Shout out DJ Moore. God, we all know it. Love him. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding. Can we talk about that? Early in this game, Sam Darnold and DJ Moore made one of the most beautiful throw catch combos I've ever for the Carolina Panthers. That was freaking incredible. Sam rolls out to the right. He's evading pressure, runs all the way to the sideline, throws a BB to the bottom right pylon, and DJ Moore gets his hands on it, feet in bounds, touchdown. That was absolutely beautiful. It was an incredible throw by Sam Darnold. I think it was an even better catch by DJ Moore. That was crazy, son. That was absolutely crazy. I think DJ Moore continues to show that he's a receiver. We just need to get a full season with a consistent quarterback that can get him the ball in the right kind of way, and DJ Moore is going to thrive. Another thing that I took from this game, guys, TJ Moore, Terrace Marshall Jr., his stock goes up and up
every week
and
every
up
week
and up. And we forget that this guy ran a low 4.4 at the combine, like a 4.42 or something like that. And he's 6'3".
He should have made that catch, though.
This dude is a presence. He is a burner. He can put people behind him.
Big.
He's big. He's strong. Like
he's what we wanted in Kelvin Benjamin.
The sky is still
what we
the
wanted in Devin
limit.
Funches.
The sky is still the limit in Terrace Marshall Jr.
I agree. That's been my happiest thing coming out of the Rule era was Terrace Marshall Jr.'s just existence in life. Right. I know what I was going to say earlier is, look, today, you guys, going back to that pass for Sam Darnold to DJ Moore. I mentioned earlier in the show that what did I say?
Why is Russell? No, my bad.
Oh.
Why is Russell Wilson not playing? Is he hurt?
Concussion.
Yeah, concussion.
He sucks. I don't know.
Oh, my
Yeah,
bad.
both. Both. No, so that talking about that pass from Sam Darnold to DJ Moore earlier on, I said that this was each week I'm waiting for that opportunity where Sam Darnold conquers his true adversary, right? Like his true hurdle that he has to overcome, which is himself and his belief. I think it's a confidence. I think it's a confidence issue because he has the physical skill set to play the game. So not only confidence, but some of it is just reps for us, right? So the first 2 weeks, just rusty, your game catching up to the speed, not playing, just get more familiar. But right now, what Sam Darnold has to do as a player, and this is probably not going to happen in Carolina at this point, is pierce through or defeat his fear of himself. And every moment you think he's about to do it, he doesn't.
Yeah.
And this today, that pass, that play, I thought was, look, we were down 7, right? Or we were down 14. We were down in that game, right? They came out and scored already. You really feel like we need to put some points up. The coverage breaks down. Sam's under duress, like where you think he's about to get sacked. He rolls, he escapes it just by a hair, rolls out, and makes an exceptional play. And you're like, this is the moment. This is the game that Sam conquers his fear. And then after that, it didn't happen. But it was my wife, she looked at me and she said, what, you don't get excited about touchdowns anymore? Because I didn't cheer. I was like just laying and lounging, watching it. And I was like, I don't even know if it's a touchdown. It's so good. Like I couldn't tell. Like when I was watching it, I was like, that maybe, yeah. Like it was the play though that could resurrect Sam, and then he didn't. Crazy.
But look, man,
mobility, intangible, a rocket, bringing you back. DJ's getting excited. Like everything is there. The ingredients are there. And you just forgot to put salt in the water or whatever when you're making the pasta.
Yeah. By the way, the Bengals scored a touchdown. They failed to get the 2-point conversion, so it's 12-17 Tampa Bay. So
that play, man, that play. Just need a couple more of those.
Yeah,
just a couple more of those. And you're right. Look, and going back to Sam Darnold, I don't want to hear the Baker Mayfield right now. Is that Sam Darnold to me has outplayed every quarterback on this team.
Sure.
I hate saying that about PJ because PJ had that incredible, he had some moments, but I really feel like Sam has pushed the ball well. Moved, I don't know. He's got mobility. He's run the ball effectively. Terrace Marshall Jr. should have came down with that ball. Thankfully, they got the pass interference, though. Because if you don't get that, then we would that. But gosh, I don't know. We need more offense. We need more offense.
I don't think there was much to